Hey y'all, good afternoon. I don't have anybody on here live yet, so I'm just going to pause for a minute. Welcome to Mobile Mondays. I'm so excited to be here. So fun to have an opportunity to talk to you guys. I know that some of you are going to watch this live, and some of you are going to jump on midway, and some of you are going to watch this afterwards as a recording. So I'm going to get started and jump in. I know it's summertime, you guys, and summertime sometimes we forget to be creative in our marketing. And in all honesty, we kind of sometimes get into that point where we are just sharing listings and open houses and nothing else. And I always say that can make our marketing sound a little bit canned, but also it loses engagement. We lose momentum. Sometimes people are checking us out for the first time and all they're seeing is listings and open houses. And I just find that sometimes we can lose our audience that way. So today, I am going to share with you 20 fresh new ideas to help you either freshen up your newsletters or your Facebook posts or your Instagram account or maybe your postcards or your print mailing. Or maybe you just want to jump in a video this summer. Maybe this is the time where you think, look, I carry a camera around in my pants. It's time to pull it out and start doing some Facebook Lives or start doing some quick videos. And so today, I'm going to share with you 20 fresh new ideas to help you get started. So I'm seeing people jump on now. Welcome. So excited to be here. As I mentioned, 20 fresh new ideas to help you freshen up your marketing this summer. So really what we want to do is focus on things other than listings and open houses, right? We don't want to just be like, hey, I have an open house, here's a brand new listing, here's a brand new listing. After a while, people get bored of seeing all that. So let's jump right in. First things first, idea number one is stats. So we should know our stats, we should know our numbers in our market, and those are really easy things to start sharing with your audience in your marketing, whether it's print marketing or online or social media. So things like days on market and average price, what sells for more and why, maybe the value of a pool versus the perception of the value of a pool, maybe things like number of sales by price range or seasonal spikes in activity. That's a great thing to talk about in the summertime. People always assume that, whatever is the right time to buy or sell. So stats, that's the first thing you can start to share. The second idea for you is comps. Now, comps are different than stats. So this is where you're going to start talking about similarly priced homes in the neighborhood, the number of single family homes versus condos that are for sale in the neighborhood. How do you accurately compare the price of your home to others? So really it's about education. A lot of what we do, it's got to be about educating the people that are listening to us in our marketing. So first idea for fresh ideas for freshening up your marketing this summer is stats. The second one is comps. Now the third one is home reno information. Now a lot of times we don't talk about this kind of stuff because there's a lot of HGTV type of stuff out there about renos. But what I can tell you is things like what features are actually bringing value. But beyond that, why not tell a story of, hey, these are the top 5 features that my buyers are looking for right now. I'm working with this pool of buyers, and these are the types of things that they're looking for. So maybe a lot of sellers believe they have to put in granite countertops or they have to have an updated bathroom, but maybe that's not necessarily the number one thing that your buyers are looking for. So have an opportunity to use your marketing to explain what are the top features that people are looking for, what brings value and what doesn't. What would an appraiser look at? That's always a really interesting piece of content, talking about when you're marketing, what would appraisers look at versus what buyers look at. And what doesn't bring any value at all? That's always really important because a lot of times people assume, hey, you know what, I'm gonna go and put this in because it's going to be a ton of resale value for my home. Potentially it's not. So that's also a great thing to talk about in your marketing. Now, fourth is community information. And I think that there's a real lack of this in our industry right now. I'm out there and I'm looking for information on my own neighborhood and I'm finding very little. So why not take an opportunity in your marketing to talk about things that are coming up in the community, things like farmers markets and maybe attend a town meeting and talk about what are some of the concerns that in the community that people are bringing up and talking about. What about growth plans? In the neighborhood that I live in, they've zoned a cornfield down the road for a giant mall. And so everyone in my neighborhood is talking about it and saying, what is that going to do to congestion? Or what is that going to do to my property values? So those are really good things to talk about in your marketing as well. Maybe attend some of those town meetings or understand in your town planning some of the things that are coming up. roadworks, bylaws, etc., and then talk about those in your marketing. Number 5, great idea for freshening up your marketing this summer is what your seller loves the most. Why not tell the story from the perspective of, instead of I have an open house or I have a brand new listing, why not say, hey, this is the thing that my seller loves the most about living here, and it's one of the reasons you are going to love living here as well. And tell it from the perspective of your seller. So for example, if I was to talk about why I love living in my home, I would be talking about things like the farmer's market that's just down the street, or the fountain where they show movies on Friday nights, or Wednesday morning yoga for all ages. Those are the types of things I love about my neighborhood. So why not tell that from the seller's perspective? Number 6, a tale of 2 listings. Sure, you have a brand new listing, but maybe you have more than one. So why not tell, instead of, hey, I have a brand new listing, why not, I have 2 listings on the market right now, and they're both very different. And here's the tale of the 2 listings. So this one is going to be something that's going to give you the country lifestyle, and it's going to be room for your garden, and it's going to be out in the sticks. And then this one is city living. And maybe compare and contrast, because what people are looking for is ideas of what it's actually going to be like to live there and what the experience is. You're selling a lifestyle, not just a home. Number 7, maybe you can start contrasting high versus low. Maybe a case study of the highest priced home that's sold in the market versus the lowest priced home that's sold in the market, and then talk about why. Talk about why the buyers were maybe intrigued by one or the other. Get in there and get the story of those 2 homes that have sold. So instead of doing a just listed or a just sold, tell the story of why it sold for that, or why it didn't sell for that, and why there was a price adjustment. Those types of things are going to be really interesting to people who are maybe contemplating using you to sell their home. So number 8, street names. This is kind of a fun idea. If you live in an area that has interesting street names, why not use your marketing to start talking to people about the history of each street name? So for example, I may live on Washington Street, and I may assume that it's named after George Washington, but what if it was named after someone else? These are great little pieces of sort of personal information, but also kind of historical, kind of interesting tidbits that you can shove into your marketing and in the corners where you think, hey, I need to have something to fill some space, or I need a Facebook post for Friday, or I want something interesting for Instagram. Snap a picture of that street sign and tell the story, the history of how that street got its name. Number 9, what to do within 5 miles of where you live, or 5 miles of where my new listing is. So yes, you have to market your new listing or your open house, but maybe you can do it by saying, hey, got a great open house on Saturday, and here's what you can do within 5 miles of this property in the summertime on the weekend if you were to live here. And that can be a really fun way to highlight the neighborhood, the community, what's going on there, but also tell the story of your open house or your listing, but not just like an in-your-face, here's my listing kind of way. So what to do within 5 miles or 5 blocks. 3 places to eat within a 3-mile radius. This one can be really fun on Fridays. So you can say, hey, you know what? I've got a great listing on Washington Street. It's a fantastic little place. And if you were to live here and you wanted to go out on a date night this weekend, here are 3 awesome restaurants that are within a 3-mile radius. Or 3 best places to get takeout if you were to live here within a 3-mile radius. So again, touching on the stuff that you want to talk about in terms of your listings and your open houses, but telling a story of what it's like to live there and including some really interesting information. Number 11, dog parks. Animal people, they love to make sure that you're talking about the other members of their family. So why not talk about dog parks or best places to walk your dog, or off-leash parks or beaches that are close by or in the community. Make sure that you remember your 4-legged family members as well. Number 12, great one for the summer, is to maybe publish a great place to go if you want to cool off. So splash pads and beaches and public pools. Where are they? What do they cost? What are their hours? It's a great blog post. It can be a fantastic video. It might be a great little piece to put on a postcard and send out to your farming area and say, hey guys, here's the information on how to cool off this summer and where you can go. Number 13, ice cream. Everyone loves ice cream in the summertime, am I right? So why not talk about the best places to get ice cream with your family or on a date or just by yourself that are close by in the areas that you are working in? So why not say, hey, you know what? I had an open house here on Washington Street on Saturday, and afterwards I stopped by this great ice cream place down the street. If you're in the neighborhood, Definitely make sure you check it out. Give some local love to your community, but it also gives some great ideas for, again, content and understanding what it's like to live there. Number 14, I mentioned farmers markets. I'm a huge fan of farmers markets, and this is the perfect time to highlight them. So again, if you're looking for content ideas for social media posts, especially on the weekends, or Instagram, or something to share in your newsletters or your postcards or with your farming area, or a fantastic video, start sharing some information about where you can find fresh produce that's grown locally in your neighborhood. Number 15, coffee, another one of everyone's favorite things. So where can I get the best cup of coffee in your neighborhood? Where can I go and find a great place to sit down and have a meeting or have a cup of coffee? Highlight those areas. Maybe even go into those coffee shops and interview the barista or the owner and say, what do you love about this neighborhood? And what do you love about your customers that come in and live here and work here and visit you every day? Number 16, another great idea for freshening up your marketing in the summertime is things to clean up or get rid of or declutter. So maybe have a list of top 20 things that you can clean out or get rid of or clean up when you're thinking of listing your home for sale. I can think of 10 things right now. So closets, drawers, pantry, fridge, bookshelves, countertops, garage, entryway, walls, and porch. Really simple things that are going to make a big difference when they declutter and clean out those areas. So again, it's a great short video. It's a fantastic Instagram list. It's a fantastic post on Facebook. Give them some ideas so that they can say, look, you know what? I'm ready to start getting my house ready for sale. And now I've got 10 places to get going on. And I know that I could work on my fridge and pantry too. Number 17 is schools. Everyone loves school information. Why not consolidate all of that into one really easy to find location? So if we're talking ways to freshen up your marketing for the summer, one of the best ways to do that is, hey, you know what? School's going to be starting before you know it. Here's some great information on our local schools. And even if you don't have a kid that goes to a local school, here's where you can find online their websites to talk about and support things like their fundraising efforts or their arts programs, or maybe buy tickets now for their plays or their musicals, or attend one of their open houses so that you can better understand what's going on in your community. So school information is also awesome. So coming down to the end of our list here. So number 18, libraries. Libraries are kind of a forgotten treasure trove. Would you agree? We loved libraries when we were kids, and then for some reason we just ended up not going to them anymore as we got older. But for families and for folks that like to get involved in the community, libraries can be a great way to do that. So in our marketing, why not talk about things like where the libraries are? What are their hours? What are some of the services? Maybe go and visit and talk to a librarian and get an idea of some of the programs that take place at the library. So things like kids programs or adult learning, or I know at my library they have knitting clubs, and they have great basic 101 computer classes for adults. So those are all things that you could highlight that happen in your neighborhood. Number 19, this one's kind of fun. Why not random facts about the neighborhood? What are things that I may not know if I'm moving in there? So fun fact, in my community, you can have up to 3 chickens per residential home as long as you don't have any roosters. And you may not know that when you move into my community. It might be kind of a fun fact for you to know. So why not do a little research and find out some of those cool, fun facts that are taking place or that are true about the communities that you work in or you farm, and then share those in your marketing. Now, number 20 fresh new ideas. Promised you 20. So this one is 24 hours. And this is a really important one in the summertime. What's open that's 24 hours around where this listing is? If I was to live here, where could I get sunblock really early on a Saturday morning before going to the beach? But more importantly, where could I get ice cream at 2 in the morning? It's really important for people to understand what's around them, whether it's a 24-hour clinic or a 24-hour veterinarian or a 24-hour liquor store. Make sure that you talk about those types of things that make a place feel like home. All right, so I've just given you 20 fresh new ideas for freshening up your marketing, whether it's online, print, social media, or video this summer. I challenge you guys, North Carolina Realtors, you guys are amazing. I know that you're on this. Pick one, just one of the 20. Pick one thing and go out and freshen up your marketing this summer. I promise you, you're going to see some great new results, but you're also going to feel maybe a little bit motivated to keep going and try more than one. Thanks for joining me today. I'll be around if you have questions or if you have comments. Feel free to pop them in as you watch the recording, and feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. Have a great day, guys.